Hello, and welcome to the Wine Educate podcast, where we explore WSET education, study tips, and practical advice for wine enthusiasts and professionals. This is episode 55, and I am your host, Joanne Close. This is a Thursday episode, so we are going to answer one of your questions. So here's Jennifer.
Bonjour, Joanne. It's Jennifer from Memphis, back home from our wonderful WSET Level 2 class in France. My wine friends cannot wait to hear about my trip, and I'm excited to share what I learned. And I don't want to wine-splain. I don't want to come across like one of those wine people that, can sometimes be a little jerky wine people. I don't want to do that. So I'm wondering if you have any suggestions for how to share things as we're learning about wine and learning through WSET in a way that's fun for everybody and approachable and just builds enjoyment for wine. Thank you again for the experience that expands my enthusiasm for wine. À la prochaine, Jennifer.
Jennifer, I do love this question. We all just spent the most wonderfully nerdy week together. And of course, we're with our people, discovering new appellations, tasting wines, learning. And yes, you are returning back to Memphis. All of you are returning back to your homes with lots of new knowledge, things to share. And it is a really good consideration how to share your wine knowledge, because this is your passion, but it's not for everyone, right? Not everyone is interested in the same things or has the same passions. That is fine. So almost every person in my family is an engineer. And I distinctly remember one holiday sitting next to my Uncle Bill, lovely man, and he spoke to me for about half an hour on how to pour concrete for a deck. He was very interested in this topic, really enthusiastic. I was not. Not exactly super interesting. I would suggest that you approach this mentality with most other folks when it comes to your passion and your enthusiasm for wine. Don't force the information upon them. As I've mentioned before, we know that wine has this weird stigma of being elitist, a bit snobby. We do not want to perpetuate this terrible stigma that wine has. So I would try to make it as fun and unintimidating as possible. So how would you do this? Well, open up a bottle of wine, right? It's a mutual shared experience. They're tasting it. You can talk about it. Oh, this is the region we went to. This is the grape variety. Makes it a more communal activity. And this is an opportunity for you to answer questions, but don't wine-splain, right? Don't let it all come out. It's probably going to be too much and maybe a little bit overwhelming. A really great way to connect with people and share your love of wine and your newfound knowledge is to tie it together with their interests. If you have someone and you know that they are a big history buff, well, you can talk about all the wonderful history that's involved in wine, the monks and their contribution to the mapping out of Burgundy and phylloxera and the railway and all those sort of things. If your friend is a gardener, you can connect on that level. Oh, it's time to do the harvest, or the grapes are ripening, and which grape varieties do better in the different regions that you just visited. Now, we all eat food, right? And there's always these interesting ways that different wines pair with food. So just sitting down, having a meal, and talking about a wine and how it works with the food is a great way to engage people, because we all have taste buds and we all have likes and dislikes, so we can all speak upon it. One of my buddies is a big collector, got quite a nice wine cellar, and his friends are not a lot of wine people. But that doesn't mean they don't like to drink and get together and socialize. So he will bring out some really extraordinary bottles and just has the pure pleasure of sharing these bottles with other people, hearing their opinion and getting together to taste. And it may not be tasting in a WSET diploma tasting note, but it's still getting together with folks and sharing these wonderful bottles. Now, there are some instances when you have a friend or someone you work with and they're talking about wine and it's not factual information, right? It is flat out wrong information that they are sharing. And this is a sticky topic because we don't want to come out and be like, oh, well, you're wrong. And how could you say that? And blah, blah, blah. But there's a very tactful way to handle that. And there's a really embarrassing, cringy way to handle that as well. So if you do have a friend and they're mistaken about some wine information, first of all, don't say anything in front of other people. This is like a one-on-one conversation. It doesn't have to be an intervention or anything weird. Maybe just say, hey, you were talking about this specific grape and how it can be made. Maybe just share an article. Say, that is really interesting. Jancis wrote a super interesting article about it. I'm going to share it with you. And kind of leave it there. You don't have to be the wine fact police, okay? Nobody likes that person. Go around correcting everyone's wine facts. And if you feel like you really have to, do it privately and in a really kind way. I'm just reminded as well, we're learning about wine. It is a lot of fun, but everyone enjoys wine differently. I'm in the south of France right now. I've been here a little over 2 weeks, and I've actually experienced multiple occasions, I was at a music concert, I was at a little wine bar, where either someone has asked me if I wanted to have ice in my rosé or just put it in there for me. Just like a handful of ice in your rosé. Wow. Putting ice in wine is not how I like to enjoy my wine. I think that the winemaker made it a certain way. If you put ice in it, you're going to dilute it. But I'm not going to go around telling people they cannot enjoy their rosé in the south of France without putting an ice cube in it. Put an ice cube in it if that is what you want to do, right? Wine is about enjoyment. We want to encourage people to learn more about this infinitely fascinating topic. We don't want to discourage anyone. And if someone wants to enjoy their wine by putting an ice cube in it, go for it. I don't want it in mine, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it for yourself. All right? Jennifer, I hope that was helpful. I loved your question, and we certainly did have a lot of fun last week. All right, if you have a question for me, please send it to me via the SpeakPipe link that is in the newsletter. All right, talk to you next week.